Let's get into the saddest part of this entire competition, Untucked. Shea Coulee trying to drink out of this mask has me like dead. Like girl, like she can't really pull the mask up because she hot glued a lot of it to her face. That's dedication. And but like I was dying at her trying to pull that thing up to drink. And you know what? Another thing, Shea Coulee wears a lot of bodysuits, but sis, you have a meaty tuck. You know what I mean? We all can't be detox, but you need to work around that because I am always seeing a massive bulge. Okay. Sasha and Shea Coulee start to discuss the beef that Nina Benita Brown has with Shea Coulee. And Shea Coulee was just like, I'm really shocked because I thought that we were really good friends. I was rooting for her in this competition. I don't understand what happened. And I get into these situations a lot where I give out more to people than they give back and I end up hurting myself. So I have to remove myself from the situation with Nina Benita Brown because she's going to take me someplace I'm healed from and I don't want to go back. And I absolutely understand what she's saying because we've all been there. We've all been better friends to people, better lovers, better family members to people, and they continue to hurt you and take advantage of you. And then when you get to the point that you're just not going to allow it anymore, you become the bad guy. You know what I mean? So, however, I am glad that Shea is taking care of herself and removing herself from a toxic friendship because right now, Nina Benita Brown is very toxic. So I don't blame her for that. I don't fault her for that. I think this is also going to help her, you know, stay in this competition and really focus on what she needs to do to win. Because right now they're all trying to be everybody's best friend. But I feel like if Shea Coulee, now that she's removed herself from Nina Benita Brown and trying to take care of her and make sure that she's okay in the competition, and now that she can just focus on the competition, I think Homegirl is going to take the crown. I really, really do. I'm telling you guys, if Alexis Michelle takes this crown, I am fighting everybody at World of Wonder, from the CEO down on to the receptionist. Everybody catching these hands. Everybody catching these hands. The remaining queens come back, and right off the back, Alexis Michelle is just like, well, I'm furious. You should be at yourself. Nobody else, ma. Nobody else. You bombed. You. This is what Trinity gets. So she looks at Peppermint and Alexis Michelle. She's just like, well, since we're here, I just think that you girls just need to clear the air and get everything out, you know, so just we don't go on in this competition and have no issues. And so Peppermint and Alexis Michelle start talking, and they like squash their issue that they had right away. And then Trinity is just like, yeah, because the only thing that I had a problem with was Coop, because I have a character that I play on YouTube, and Alexis Michelle was like, nope, I created that, you did not. So they start getting into it, and I'm just like, see, this is why you got to shut up and mind your business. You over there trying to be peacemaker, and you getting cussed out by the person you trying to squash it with who got a beef with somebody else. Stay in your lane and mind your business. That's what I do, and my life is better off because of it. So I'm watching Untucked, and the anger that has went away with the Valentina elimination is starting to come back, because I'm sitting here and I'm watching her sitting on the chase, legs up, bedazzled nails hanging, not learning this song. Okay? All the other queens who think that they might have to lip sync for their life are getting ready, because Nina Benita Brown looks at Alexis Michelle and just like, well, it's going to be me and Alexis in the bottom. And Alexis Michelle is like, wait a minute, why me? I did not do as terribly as you did. And Trinity was like, I'm sorry, I just have to get in here because I don't think that she's going to be, that we're going to be on the bottom lip syncing, because we had a stellar pilot. What you guys did, and Alexis Michelle was like, it was bad, it was trash. It was trash. She was just like, I'm not going to be lip syncing. But Nina Benita Brown got in her head, so she was just like, you know what, let me learn this song. So she gets up and she starts learning the song, and Trinity gets up and starts learning the song, and then Peppermint gets up and starts learning the song. But you know who's not? Nina Benita Brown and Valentina, just sitting chilling. And then we get a cut of Peppermint, and she's like frantic at her workstation, and Trinity was like, come on, calm down. We are not going to be lip syncing for our lives. We better not be. I'm going to be so furious if we're lip syncing. And the thing about it is, I love that about them. I love that passion, because those girls really wanted to be there. And I felt like I saw two girls who, one who thought that she was going to escape through the competition, and she had until this point, and another one who keeps on doubting herself. So it's like, I'm not going to say that they don't want to be there. I do feel like in this moment they didn't deserve it, because you got to fight for this, and I didn't see a fight in either one of them, and I was just very, very disappointed. Trinity and Nina Benita Brown had this really sweet moment where they're just exchanging compliments, and Trinity just puts her hand on Nina Benita Brown's leg, and she's just like, I just think you're very good. I think you're so talented. I love what you do. Your face. And she's just like, I know if you would have had more time to do that chest, girl, you would have just wowed everybody. And she's just like, I love what you do. And then Nina Benita Brown says to Trinity, and I absolutely agree. She said, you have surpassed a pageant queen. And I'm glad that you're on the show because you're showing the world that you are more than a pageant queen. And she's absolutely right, because when Trinity came on the show and said that she was a pageant queen, I clocked that she was going to go home right away, because pageant queens don't really last long on this show because they don't know how. There are some pageant queens who give the overall drag aesthetic, and then there are a lot of pageant queens who just rely on pretty, who come in, it's just like, I'm pretty and I have nice gowns, and they don't know how to sew, they don't know how to lip sync, they don't know how to like create different garments and give drama in certain aspects because they're so focused on being perfect, answering the questions right, and just being pretty. And a lot of them go home early and right away. There have only been very few drag queens on the show who are pageant queens have been able to make it to the top. Has a pageant queen ever won? Was Nina Sanchez a pageant queen? I gotta go back. I don't know if a pageant queen has ever won this competition. I know there's been a lot of comedy queens, but I don't know if there's been a pageant queen. I could be wrong. I didn't see season 1. I couldn't, season 2 is when I started. Season 1, that camera work was just so blurry and gave me like glamour shot realness, and I could not. Oh, then we have to relive this dreadful lip sync, and I'm just, from watching Untucked to seeing this lip sync again, I'm just angry. I'm just angry because she stuck there the whole time, legs up, not learning the song. I have seen drag queens in this Untucked who thought that they were going to go home, who get a drink, get their headphones, and they go right to the mirror and start performing. Asha was one of them. And Valentina's just sitting up there, and I'm like, you don't know the words to this song. Why not at least try? Because they are back there, guys. They have to be back there for a good hour. They have to be, because Untucked, the footage that they get from Untucked is a good half an hour, 20 minutes to a half an hour. So I know that they are filming for at least an hour if that's what they were able to give us out of the footage. Like even with my with the videos that I do, my stuff is like at least an hour because I'm taking a lot of pauses and breaks, and I got to switch and do this. So my footage without editing is about an hour, and then I edit it down to about 20 minutes to a half an hour. So I know they had at least an hour. You telling me that you can't learn a 3-verse song with a catchy whatever chorus, you can't learn that within an hour? She gave up, and I'm just so disappointed because you had the time, Ma. You had the time to learn those words. You had the time, and you did nothing but sit on that chase and chat with Nina Benita Brown and get in your head and feel sorry and depressed for yourself. You feel sorry and depressed for yourself after you get eliminated, after you gave a fighting chance. But you did not, Valentina. You did not. And I am heartbroken because you were the clear winner of this competition. And then after she gets eliminated, she goes back, she's crying, and she's crying into the curtains. And I can't feel no sympathy for her because I watched you sit there and Untucked and not rehearse. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? How many Twitter trolls do I have to fight for you knowing that you didn't even rehearse the damn song? So Valentina goes back to the workroom, and she's crying and packing up, and then she reads this really sweet letter that Nina Benita Brown wrote her on a pink 3x5 card, which I thought was really, really sweet. And it's sad that those two linked up in their weaknesses and not in their strengths, because if they linked up with their strengths, they would have won. In my opinion, they would have clearly won. And I felt like this is two people who I thought in the beginning was going to win the competition. So it's sad to see Nina Benita Brown lip syncing for her life every week when there's Alexis Michelle still in the competition, and to see Valentina go home when Alexis Michelle is still in the competition. It's just, in my opinion, those queens aren't better than her. They're not. You have the full package, but this is what happens when you rely on pretty. So, although I'm disappointed, I feel like this is the best thing that ever happened to her. I feel like it's the best thing that ever happened to her. I think for the first time in her life, she got a little shaken up, and she realized that, you know, I got to do more than this. And my fun little one-liners and adorable comedy isms. I have to do more. Girl, I still think you are a great queen. And I am looking forward to seeing you in All Stars, because I think you got what it takes to go far. So sad to see you go. It really, really is, because I felt like this was probably the saddest, for me, the saddest Untucked ever that I've ever watched. Like, I was a wreck watching her go, because she was so emotional. I was so emotional because from the beginning I was like, this is the girl that's winning. So I felt like my heart was ripped out as well. You know what I mean? My dreams were stomped into the ground. I'm hurt. So I was really hurt by that, but I also feel like this was probably the most honorable as well, because man, this is the whole, so I'm so sad that she's gone, because after she got herself together, she was just like, I'm proud of what I did. I am proud of what I did, and I'm gonna go far. This isn't gonna stop me. This doesn't define me. It doesn't. But you not rehearsing does. You not rehearsing does define you. Better work ethic, ma. This whole episode, your theme of this episode was unprepared. Unprepared and unbothered. Girl, no. How are you the 7th queen to go home? You, out of all the queens, how are you the 7th queen to go home? You know what, Valentina, I hope you're watching this. Come close. Just listen to me. Be quiet. Be quiet! What is wrong with you? Stop it! I have never yelled at a queen like this before. When my mother yells like this, it means that she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. When you realize that you had a lip sync, you should have learned those words. Take responsibility for yourself, because ain't nobody else gonna take responsibility for you, especially not Alexis. You batting your eyes and you sitting on pretty because you've heard it all before. But you don't know where the fans come from. You don't know what we've been through. But I'm not a victim. I grow from it and I learn. That's why I'm rooting for Shea Coulee. Sis, take the crown. Team Shea Coulee. See you next week, guys. Bye.